Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Gals. I'm Elizabeth. We're really excited about our new video today. It's 5 rustic Valentine DIYs that are all made with Dollar Tree items. You're going to love the way these turn out. They're simple and easy to make. My first DIY, I bought this package of wooden hearts from the Dollar Tree, and this little garland also came from the Dollar Tree. It has kind of like some little dark red beads on the garland, and all I'm going to do is I just kind of hooked it there in the top of the heart, and I want to make a heart shape with the garland, so I'm just going around one of these wooden hearts. I'm going to take it off of the actual wooden heart, but I just have it there in place to give me a pattern or something to trace around to make all of this garden into a heart shape. And then we're going to hook it inside of our frame, so it gives us this wonderful rustic wooden look, and it only costs like $2 to make this. I mean, you can't beat that. So all I'm doing is just twisting this around here. I actually unhooked it there from the heart or from the wooden heart, and then I just hooked it. The little garland has wire in it, so it'll kind of hook against itself there. And I'm just going to kind of twist it around and wrap it around just to make a nice heart shape. I'm going to use all of the garland that was in the pack to make my heart. And I can't stress enough how easy this is to make. This is really simple to do. It gives a great look, especially if you like that kind of rustic woodland look or farmhouse type vibe. It gives you that great look, but this is really easy to do. Now the frame I had laying beside the heart, I didn't use that one. I ended up using this 5x7 frame, and that one actually came from Walmart, but it's still 97 cents, so it's still a dollar item. And what I'm doing here, I'm just taking a couple little heart stickers that I have, and then some of those like little bead stickers from the Dollar Tree. I can find those sometimes. So I'm just taking some of the Mod Podge. I'm putting 2 little hearts down here on the corner of the frame down at the bottom. And then I'm going to put a couple of the little beaded stickers down at the bottom. I want to give the frame a little bit of texture on here. So that's what I'm trying to do with gluing these on here. And then we'll go over top of them and paint them. And I'm using the Waverly chalk paint, the ivory shade. And I'm going to go over the frame twice just to get those stickers covered up really well. And to cover the frame, then I'm going to use a little bit of the antique wax on here. And a little bit of some sandpaper just to give it more of that rustic look. And here's my frame once the white dried, and now I'm going to take a little bit of that wax. I want to get down in the grooves that are around the frame, and then we'll take the sandpaper and kind of go along the parts that are not the groove just to give it some more of that rustic look. And I was using my file there, but my file wasn't getting the job done, so I switched out, used a little bit of sandpaper, and that gave it the look that I wanted. To attach my heart into my frame, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use some twine from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue that onto my frame, and then I'm just going to make a couple loops around my heart because I want this to kind of hang or kind of dangle just a little bit. And then I'm going to use my glue gun and just glue the very corner of the heart kind of around one of the humps there. I'm going to just glue that just a little bit to the frame so it's not actually swinging back and forth inside the frame. And I know I look like I'm all thumbs here with trying to put this together, but this is really easy to just take some twine, glue it a little bit there, and wrap it around. And you're going to love the way that this turns out here. And I did hot glue a couple of the little wooden cubes from the Dollar Tree to the back, just so it'll stand up a little bit better. And I love this. I think this is so simple, but yet it's really pretty piece. It has that wonderful look for Valentine's Day, especially if you like that kind of rustic type touch and something unique, something different, really easy to make. Only cost me $2 to make this. So let's move on to our next DIY. And I think these little wooden boxes from the Dollar Tree, I think they're new this year. I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing these last year, but they're really cute. And they have a couple different designs. This one has a little farm truck on the front, but they have some that say love. And I think they had about 3 or 4 little different designs. I had painted the bottom in ivory chalk paint and ivory white. The back part there, that's the like wood stain, that's actually the antique wax. And then I'm going to paint barn door red. I'm going to paint my truck. I'm going to put some black wheels on it. I'm going to paint my heart a red. And I'm going to glue this onto the little candle holder here. This is just one of the short candle holders from the Dollar Tree. I had already painted that, the ivory white shade. And I'm just going to use my glue gun. I'm going to put a little glue on the front and a little glue on the back to hold this in place. Once I get it in the candle holder, I'm going to put just a little bit more glue from my glue gun. And I'm going to take one of the little wooden hearts. I think there were actually 8 in a pack. There were either 5 or 8 that came in a pack from the Dollar Tree. It has a little hole in the top. I just used some wood putty to fill that in. And I'm just going to glue this down inside the little box here. It has like a little pocket in this little box. I'm going to have it to kind of look like it's playing peekaboo or kind of peeking out here. Once everything dries, I'm just taking some antique wax. I want the candle holder to be darker, so I want to tone that down to make it more brown than it is white. So I'm going to use some of the antique wax over here, pretty heavy on the candle holder, and then just kind of light over the little box where it's white. I'm going to go over the truck a little bit, and then the little wooden heart that's in there, I'm just going to go over that real lightly, but real heavy on the candle holder. And I hope y'all like this raffia stuff. I just love this stuff. It's so easy to work with. Has that rustic look to it. So I'm just taking, this was some I had left over from Christmas. I'm taking about 3 pieces of the neutral or kind of the tan color here. And I'm just seeing how much to put around here. I want kind of like a little wreath around the bottom. So I'm just going to hot glue that and wrap a couple pieces around. And then we'll go back and put a bow on the front. And the little slot in the box reminds me like of a little mailbox. So we're going to drop a little Valentine in here. So of course I'm outside and it's always windy for some reason. Or it seems to be windy every time I try to film something outside. We're in the Loves in the Air collaboration today. I'm the special co-host this month, so I want to say thank you to all the hosts for allowing me to join. You want to check out their channels. Their information is down in my description box along with a playlist. So thanks again to Tammy from the Rusted Willow, Missy from Crafty Cove, Amanda from 6 Kids and a Glue Gun, and Stephanie from Mama Can Make It. Thanks, ladies. Now here's another fun DIY. I have 2 of these little crates from the Dollar Tree, and then I also have this little wooden love sign from the Dollar Tree, so I was really debating on what to do with this. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some of this E6000 glue. I'm going to glue the crates together, and then I'm going to glue the crates to the love sign. And then I'm going to put them all together. I laid mine down flat. I put something heavy on it for it to dry overnight. And this makes a nice little stand. You can put lots of things in it. You can put candy or Valentines in it. If you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. If you're returning and already a subscriber, thanks so much for supporting my channel. I greatly appreciate you. And I let my glue dry overnight just to make sure everything got in place good. And this looks great. I love the way this little wooden DIY here is turning out. So I'm going to take some of the ivory chalk paint, the ivory white. I'm going to paint this. I'm not painting it real solid though. I still want some of that wood to kind of show through. And then we're going to use a little bit of that antique wax again to kind of give it a rustic look. So there you can still see through there a little bit. So it's not real solid. And then I'm going to take some of the wax and go over it just really quickly. I kind of went a little heavier around the letters. And I have some scrapbooking paper that I got from the thrift store. I think I only paid like 15 cents for this. So I'm going to cut some little squares out, use my glue gun to glue this behind the letters to fill that in so it's not an empty space. And the red just looks amazing up against this off-white and the wooden color. I really like the way the red looks. I was thinking about doing ribbon, but I'm so glad I used the paper because I think this looks so much better than using the ribbon behind it. Now, the question is, what are we going to put in the box? So I had originally put a couple different things in there, but we really like the Valentines. That's what we ended up doing. And of course, the wind. Here we go, Mr. Wind. So it's blowing again. It keeps blowing my Valentines around. I did hot glue a couple little wooden hearts on the front there, but I really like the way this looks. You could also put some candy or fill in whatever you like down there. And I'm really loving the layered look. I think that's really popular now, or I'm seeing a lot of that now. I think it's probably pretty popular now, but I really like the way that looks. So that's what I'm wanting to do here with these hearts. I'm using 2 of the wooden hearts that I still have from that same pack. I'm going to make one of the hearts more red tones and then one more pink tones. I just cut some strips out here. These are about the width of a popsicle stick is kind of what I'd cut the first one out, about that size, and then I just kind of cut the other ones out based off the ones I'd already cut. And I just picked a pattern, kind of made a pattern here, and I'm going to hot glue these on one side, and then we'll overlap on the other side just to kind of give it some layered looks, and then we'll go around it and trim off the excess. And this really turned out better than expected. I wasn't too sure exactly how that would look, but I love the way that it ended up turning out. So I wanted to do a pink one. So I'm just using some different scraps that I've got with pinks and just kind of picking that pattern again. I laid mine out first just to make sure I have enough pieces cut, and then I started gluing. And I'm going to use a frame that I had left from a winter thrift DIY that I had. And I'm just using this one because of the gray. I thought the gray would look really pretty, and it was already painted gray. So I'm going to hot glue these just with a little bit of glue. I'm using a very small amount, just right on 2 little places here. I'm going to glue, and then the next heart actually worked out really good because I ended up gluing that really close to where the little metal pieces are to hold your picture in there. So the next one, actually, I get to bend those over and hold that in place a little bit better. So you may want to think about where those are at on your frame. You don't really need that, but it was just kind of something extra there to kind of hold it in place. So I'm just putting a couple little drops of glue here to hold these in place. I really love the way this one turned out. This one was really a lot of fun to make. It has that almost like quilted type effect, or almost like it's been sewn, but it's not. It's just a little bit of glue. And I did take a couple of those little cubes again and glued on the back just to make this stand up straight. So thanks so much for sticking with me to the end here. And this is the simplest one. This is like a no-brainer, simple, easy DIY here. Anybody can do any of these, but this one is really so simple. I bought the little frame here with the little clip from the Dollar Tree. I got these little wooden circles. They look like little wooden ornaments in a mystery box, but I think they may have came from like the Dollar Tree or Walmart. There were a few that I got in my box. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some wooden hearts from the Dollar Tree. And it was already painted red. I'm going to glue it on here, and boom, that's it. So simple. Well, guys, leave me some comments. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about these rustic Valentine DIYs. I hope I've inspired you to make some budget-friendly, simple and easy DIYs to decorate your home or give away as gifts. Don't forget to check out the host channels, also the playlist that's listed down in my description box. If you're loving some of my DIYs and want to see more, I have some of my Valentine DIYs listed down in my description box. I made 4 wreaths already this year for Valentine's Day. I also made a reversible sign for Valentine's Day last year. So that is listed down in my description box. So you'll definitely want to check that out. I also have a Kirklands dupe for Valentine's Day down in my description box. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you have a